Welcome everybody to the podcast. How are you guys doing today? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. All right. Things might be a little scuff, all right, because it's the first time we're doing this on a different platform. Normally we're over on Twitch. Today we're going to be here on YouTube with you guys. I know there's no mods, right? There's no mods. So it's a little weird. I don't know how to give people mod or anything like that. Nightbot, I already toned Nightbot down. Nightbot got you guys with the cap spam or something. So that should be taken care of. I already took that away, and I forgot. You don't like the audience noise, Elmy? You don't like the excitement from this for the new podcast? But okay, so again, we're gonna be taking questions from you guys as well. So if you guys have some interesting questions going on, we will make sure to get to those. And also, if you guys have questions that you would like to ask personally, all you guys got to do is go head on over to the waiting room and sit there in the waiting room, and then we will drag you in when the time comes for that. But yeah, for right now, let's go ahead and introduce. This is our guest of honor. This is FSHLittleEvil. Why don't you go ahead?
How's it going? How's it going, everybody?
Now, for those of you who thought that the FSH was fish, it's actually not, correct?
It is not fish. It's in fact not fish.
Yeah, it's not fish. I made that mistake. I believe Rest made that mistake. I think Limp made that mistake. But yeah, so I want to go ahead. We have a rare opportunity. Not a lot of people get this chance to be able to relive their first encounter with someone. But we are lucky enough to do that because we have the recording of our first time meeting Little Evil. So let's go ahead and take a look at our first time. If you want to head on over to the watch together, Little Evil, we'll go ahead and take a look at that.
Yep, I'm ready. Let's do it.
First time meeting Little Evil. So let's go ahead and oh, wait, what happened here?
Are we good?
Oh, there we go. Here we go. Wait, why is it pausing? See, again, this is what I'm talking about, the scuff, you guys. I apologize.
Protecting it.
Why? I don't get why it's pausing, though. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, we're in trouble here. Hold on, you guys. Bear with us. Bear with us. Bear with us.
They're protecting it.
There we go.
Oh, whoa, what just happened? Whoa, what the Holy shit, DB Fanboy Gaming just hit me with a raid with a party of 30. Yo.
Hell yeah.
Dude. Are you kidding me? I'm over here dicking around. My man.
Coming
With
weird,
a party of 30. I appreciate, man. And everyone come over with him. I am sorry that I'm sitting here dead right now, but I appreciate that raid, dude. That's big time stuff. And everyone that came over with him, good stuff, man. Big time appreciation. I got a dab. Someone sent me the dab. All right, got the dab. Bro, you seem super nice. I'm following. Hey, Snow King, I appreciate that. Oh, we got another dab going. Let's go. We'll dab all night if you guys want to stick around. Got some followers. What is?
All right. So, I mean, I noticed you were whispering in that. Like, you were excited, but were the kids asleep at that time? Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because you seem super stuck. Like, you seem like you wanted to yell, but you're like, wait, I don't know if I can right now. Yeah. Yeah. Got you. Yeah, and I wish I had the recording of us even going through the viewer list to find you. But for some reason, on that wall of streamers, you just popped out for some reason. I don't know if it's because there's a lot of people in like the 5 viewer range who don't ever have cameras. So because you had a camera, I think that might have helped. But I honestly don't remember the thought process that was going on. What happened, Limp? Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Thank you so much, Limp. Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that. Okay. Back to what you're saying, Label. Wait, can you hear me or no?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, he should be unmuted now. Yeah, sorry, I had you muted. But yeah, no. So he was not. The kids were maybe he was sleeping, but yeah, he was excited. He just said he didn't really know how to process the whole rating thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think what you were saying is like, is you don't remember exactly how, but I think it was Snowy or someone came in my stream later at another time. It was like, yeah, the main reason why he ended up rating you is because the fact you had a face cam, because you had been scrolling, and then finally got to the face cam, and you're like, well, here we go.
Yeah, it was tough. It was really like whenever we do that, it's just there's not a whole lot of people who they're either streaming straight from their console or they just don't have a face cam period. So it's always really hard to find someone with a face cam, and then let alone somebody who has a face cam and is actually like interactive with like what's happening. There's a lot of people that we vibe check and they get the follow and they're just like, oh, hey, thank you for the follow. And then they go back to whatever they're doing. It's like, bruh, like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm being weird about that, but I just feel that it's so, I don't know. It's off-putting.
It's key to like always like, I always feel guilty if I don't see it within like the first 30 seconds. And it's like, I got to say something. Like, I feel like it's necessary. You got to acknowledge it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And then like, even if you do acknowledge, like, I don't know. I just feel like I remember back when I started out streaming and I had, 3 viewers, 5 viewers. Like I was stoked anytime if someone hit me with a new follow, it was like a tier 3 sub. You know what I mean? Like I was so excited. Yeah. Also, you guys, you can do !LittleEvil in the chat to get links to his link tree, so that way you can follow him on all of his socials. All right. It'll have his Instagram, his Twitter, and you're right. I do have the TTV, by the way, hat on. Google didn't like that. I should turn it around. Well, let's get back to your stream. So how long have you been streaming?
So I would have to say April, because I moved from South Carolina in February. I got situated. I got moved in here in San Diego. So April, I finally got my computer. I want to say like very early April is when I finally kicked it off.
Of this year?
Of this year, yeah.
Oh, wow. So it hasn't been that long at all.
It hasn't, no. It's been like a crash course, fast paced, like learn as I go. But yeah, so What did we in October? So 6 months, about 6 months, yeah.
That's nuts, dude. Like I feel that your growth in this 6 months is already like by far way past where I was my first 6 months.
Well, I think numbers are flawed because when I started out, I didn't know better. It was like, hey, get on Twitter, like, hey man, I'm gonna follow you, falling back. And I got into that follow.
Everyone does.
Mistake. So my numbers were inflated early on and it didn't result in viewers. But now I think as like I'm organically growing, I'm now seeing some decent growth. I'd say decent growth over the last month.
Oh, for sure. I'm telling you, dude, it took me to get affiliate, I think it took me about 5 months just to even hit affiliate because I had no idea what I was doing. I thought it was literally you go to your computer or your console, you turn on your game and you hit go live and then boom, you're going to get views. And it's not like that at all. Like there's so much more to it. Yeah. And then even with the Twitter and stuff, I didn't utilize any social media whatsoever. And even if I did, it was just going live tweets, but it was going live tweets with like 30 hashtags. And like the support small streamers, all that stuff, which a lot of people don't know, like I don't know. I remember reading a while back that the support small streamers thing is like, it's almost like it's not a real thing, right? Like someone started that and basically everyone started using that, but like it's only helping like the people who started that or something. Oh, but they just said don't use it. That. Yeah, they just said.
So I still use it. And I don't see any. I like it's something that's one thing as I keep learning is like. It's probably time to do away with those ads. Like, it gets retweeted, but does that really do anything? Because it's just other people using the same thing.
Yeah. I know on Twitter, on Instagram and stuff like that like utilize hashtags actually. I know there's absolutely no problem with still using it there because it gets into the eyes of those people that you want. But like for Twitter, like the thing that got me to stop using it was, I forgot who it was. It might've been Harris Heller. I mean, of course it's Harris, our Lord and Savior in the streaming community, Harris Heller. He, told us like when was the last time you seen a big streamer use hashtags in their going live tweets? And I was like, oh my God, never. Like I looked, I was like, no one, none of them use it.
Yeah.
And granted, it's because they don't need to use like hashtags,
Which is true.
But he said that like you need to almost fake it till you make it. So you need to present yourself as this like more professional look by not using that, and then people will gravitate towards that more because they'll take you more seriously as a streamer. And I was like, oh, you know what? So I was like, you know what? I think that's what I'm gonna do.
See, and these are like things that I keep learning because I still use hashtags. So it's something like, hey, get rid of that shit. Like I don't need it.
Yeah, and it just
Like,
clutters up.
Like,
it clutters up your tweet.
It does, and it takes away more. You can put more useful information there. I feel like, like this is what's going on with my stream tonight, or just add something else besides, hey, here's a hashtag. I'm a Twitch TV.
Yeah. Haley wants to know why you're drinking 2 to 3 liters of water.
So I'm sure we'll get to like the background of what I do, but this is just habit. It's grab gallons of water and carry gallons everywhere because I drink a shit ton of water. If I'm not drinking beer or vodka, it's water. Okay. So it's just easy to have a gallon. Yeah. Otherwise, I just smash a bunch of little bottles of water constantly, and I'm going to get more. So you'll pretty much always see me, especially when I'm working, gallon of water.
We're gonna touch back into that because I have a few questions about that whole water, like the gallon of water thing. But we're gonna get into that later when we come to that topic. But what got you into streaming?
So I mean, I'd seen some of my buddies do it, and like it looked fun. I didn't know a lot about it, but then you always see the big names, like you see the ninjas, like the Tim the Tap Man. But then I get on Twitch. I would get on Twitch occasionally and like check it out. And every time I see people doing it, it's like, oh, this is cool. Like they just chill and they like bullshit with people while they game. Well, I play a lot of video games. Like I'm now playing more than I used to because I just got kind of away from it. Now it's like I picked up streaming because it looked interesting, and then it got me back into gaming. So it like goes in hand in hand. It's fun. So now I interact with more people. Yeah, like I'm not just in here playing games by myself, which is nice to play offline and just chill. Yeah, but it's cool to just sit and bullshit with people while you game. Like it's awesome.
Yeah, well, and then you were familiar with Twitch then before you became like a streamer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but like not overly familiar. But I would get on it. I had the app on my phone. Like I'd see stuff pop up. Like all right, well, I'll go check it out. I'll watch play, and like when they do like PS reveals or like
they have all the big events.
Yep.
Okay,
just get on and watch that stuff. But then also, so there's a little more too. It was also like, well, if I get into this and maybe like it's fun, I enjoy it. Maybe this is something long term. And down the road, I could this either be a part-time thing, full-time thing. Who knows? You just never know. So
because there's this faux pas with like wanting to make money for streaming, which is perfectly fine. Like there's nothing, like people are so afraid to admit like that had a factor in it because like people always avoid it. They'll always be like, they'll never mention the money thing, but it's like, listen, you see these dudes making bank for doing what they love, and it's not like it'd be completely different if you had no interest in video games whatsoever, and then you're like, oh, I can make money doing that, cool, I'll go do that. But if you are into gaming and you're in, and that's something that you're into, you know what I mean? You're into socializing with people. You're into playing video games. You're into entertaining people. There's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting to start a career in that and like make that your living. Do you know what I mean? But people are so scared to admit that. And like I personally, I'm not doing it for the money, but the money's cool because if I didn't get paid to do it eventually, it's kind of hard to sell that to the wife. Do you know what I mean? I'm dedicating all this time into something because time is money. Do you know what I mean?
It is.
And especially if you have a family, if you're just a kid who just graduated high school, maybe you're in college or something, you have nothing but time. It's perfectly cool. You know what I mean? If you want to spend your time streaming instead of going out, that's perfectly fine. But when you're older and you have responsibilities and stuff, like you kind of need some kind of compensation for investing that time into it. And it's not that you're demanding it. You know what I mean? You're not like,
no.
Yeah. But it's like, if it happens, great. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no denying like money is great. People subbing is awesome because that is money essentially in your pocket, which I mean, all of this stuff didn't just like show up here. You had to pay for it. Yeah. So while it might take all the next 2 years to accrue all this money back, I mean, why not? Like, who doesn't like money? Like it ultimately, if I got to the point where I was like top level. No, I mean, not even top level, but I was making a consistent income. I'm not gonna be mad at it to sit around and play video games. And if people want to pay to watch me and bullshit me, hey, I'm for it.
Yeah, I think that's a great thing, and I think that a lot of streamers need to, like, I don't know, just man up and just be like, yeah, if I want to get paid to do this because I want this to be my job. I want this to be what I do for a living. Like, Grant,
I
you're
just
not.
don't.
Yeah, you're not gunning to be a gazillionaire from it, but to make a
I just
livable
don't
wage is
think-
cool.
If you're faking it, you're
Yeah.
faking like, and I've been seeing a lot of this. Is like
I-
people faking what they do and like
Yeah.
the way they appear online and like their persona
Yeah.
to get paid. That's bullshit. Like,
Yeah.
just be real about it. That's all there is to
exactly. Just be genuine. That's it.
it. Yeah.
Like, if that's your goal, even if you're like a Logan Paul type, you know what I mean? And you're like, that's who you are. Own it. Like, be that person then, but don't like be that person behind the scenes. And then when you're in front of the camera, you're this nice, cool, generous person. But in real life, you're just a scumbag who's trying to get rich. Be that scumbag who's trying to get rich. At least people will appreciate it. People will appreciate it more. And they'll be like, hey, if that's what you want, that's the cool. I want to help you. I want to help you get like that.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah. But so where does the name come from? The Little Evil name. How did you settle on your stream name?
So, Little Evil, I don't have a clue where I even came up with that from. But at the time, me and my buddy there's 4 of us, and we were heavy into Halo 3, and we were trying to be competitive. And my buddy was like, "Hey, look, like, I've got this cool name. That's like," and he came up with the 4 stable hands, and he based it off of the 4 horsemen of like the apocalypse.
Yeah.
And so his name was FSH Apocalyptic. He's like, "Just come up with something cool." I was like,
Yeah.
like, and I don't remember how I pieced together, but I was like, "Oh, well, I mean, this sounds cool." And then I spelled it Littel because I didn't want the 2 E's together, because that was like my mindset back then.
Yeah.
And then as I kept playing, people were just like, "Fish Littel." I'm like, damn it. Like, this backfired hardcore. So I did recently change it, so that was fixed. But that's where the FSH came from. And Little Evil was just like, come up with something that like sounds decent and cool and like goes in with that. I was like, all right, well, I don't know, maybe this will fit. And I was Little FSHLittleEvil for the longest time, and now I finally just changed it. And I don't want to like rebrand because I like the name because I've had the name for so long. So I was like, I mean, this is gonna be my name. I don't want to change it. It's part of like my gaming history, I guess.
That is
all the way back to early
hilarious.
days.
That is hilarious. So the FSH is not fish. It is 4. What is it? 4.
So 4 stable hands.
4 stable hands. Yeah.
Now there's 2 of us, so it's really like irrelevant. But we're both committed to keeping it because it's part of like our gaming together. So.
Yeah. So it's an homage to your guys to a throwback to what you guys were. That's cool. That's dope.
Yeah.
And then, so you've always been a gamer then, or is this something that recently happened?
I've gamed like, I mean, it's like I grew up with, I mean, I even had an Atari. Like, I vaguely remember playing Atari.
Yeah.
And then I went into Nintendo. I've had almost every console that I can think of up until like the point where I'm at now, and I finally switched to PC. But I've always gamed. Like, have I played a large variety of games? Probably not. I've stuck to the games that I've enjoyed. But yeah, I've gamed my entire life.
That's how I was too. Like growing up, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't have this enormous library. I barely had any games that I actually owned. They were like, the fan favorites, like the Street Fighters, Mortal Kombat, stuff like that. Yep. But for the most part, we were taking trips to Blockbuster and renting whatever games came out and being like, oh, cool.
Weekends with your buddies, go rent a new game, smash through it, stay up all night, just slam Mountain Dew and game.
And for the most part, I was doing arcades because at the time, like, arcades, they absolutely shit on your whatever console you had at home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like any new games that came out, it was always the newest arcade game, never really the newest console game other than like Mario or something like that.
Yep.
But yeah, and then even then, like, people expect, oh, you're a gamer, like you've been a gamer your whole life, so you played this. It's like, no, like even Half-Life is one of like the biggest like games like of all time, right? And I remember playing it here and there, but I was never super huge into it because, again, at the time, I was just like any other kid in America, and I played on console. Not very many kids played on PC, so all the console stuff is what we were playing.
Yeah, I was very specific, like, the Mario series, and then Mortal Kombat series, and then I went through like the Tomb Raider and Twisted Metals and like the, GoldenEye into the Halo era, and I've just been into shooters, but like I've been specific to like my type of games. I haven't had a large variety. I mean, I played a lot of games, but like you were saying, like the big time games, I didn't necessarily always play those. It just wasn't my thing. I played, you play what you enjoy. Yeah. But I've always gamed, so
So in high school, you gamed then too and stuff. Like,
I gamed a lot. Yeah.
All right. I'm very interested in your high school life because, like, you seem like you've been jacked like this. Like, you seem like you've been this high. Like, you look like the high school quarterback, varsity captain. Like, is that who you were in high school? Were you like a super jock?
I was extremely athletic.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was what, I don't know, 100 pounds, 105 pounds. Like,
Are you?
when I got out of high school, I was 120 pounds. So
Are
I was
you kidding me?
No, I was tiny, absolutely tiny.
I don't believe this at all.
I swear, I was very small, and I mean, at the time, obviously, I'm not exactly a giant now, but I do tower at 5'8".
Yeah.
But in high school, 105 pounds as a freshman.
Yeah.
And probably like 5'3". I was pretty small.
Oh shoot. So
I was an athlete. I was very competitive, but I didn't actually play a lot of sports for my school.
Okay. Well, when did you have this glow? When did you have this glow up and you just got this? You got absolutely yoked. I'm gonna show you guys a picture, a thirst trap of Little Evil.
Absolutely.
And I need to know. Here, hold on. Here, let's take a look. Let's take a look at Little Evil here. Absolutely yoked out of his mind. Can you guys see this? Absolutely yoked out of his mind. How old were you in this picture, Louisville? Can you see this?
I think I have a little delay, so I'm assuming it's what I posted probably a couple weeks ago or last week.
Yeah, the one that I told you to take down because my wife has an Instagram, sir. All right.
Oh, there it is. All right, so that was, I mean, that's a different me. That was an out of control me, but that would have been 2011.
You look super young. That looks straight out of high school. Is that?
No, I mean, I got married and I aged extremely over the past 4 years because my wife stressed me out. But
that's marriage. That's marriage.
Yeah. Now, so that was 2011. So I was 26.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2011, and that would have been, I don't know, I was on deployment, so.
Okay. And you went straight from high school to military, or did you go through college?
I graduated, and then I don't think it was more than a couple weeks, and I was off the boot camp.
Well, first, I want to say thank you for your service.
I appreciate it.
Second, what led to that decision to go into the Marines, right?
Yep, Marine Corps. It was simple for me. I have one older sibling, an older brother, 2 years older than me. I didn't have like any set plan, and he joined the Marine Corps. And like at one point, I visited him. I was like, "Wow, this is like really cool." And like the Marines are supposed to be badasses, and I've always been better than him at everything he does, but he can do this. So I'm like, I can be a badass. And I didn't have any like set plans. Like, look, I'm not going to college. It's not that I didn't want to. I didn't have any purpose. Like I didn't know what I was gonna do. So I was like, well, let's just do this. Like he's getting paid to like chill with all his boys, do cool stuff, and like.
Yeah, you get to play with guns. You get to get in shape. You get to be a Marine. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much that comes with that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, well, let's just send it on this. And I enlisted probably about a year and a half before I actually graduated high school. So I was ready to go for like the longest time.
Okay.
And then I graduated and I shipped out. So it was like July of. I hate to like talk about how long ago this was because it's slightly depressing, but it was 2003, and I was gone.
Holy.
Yeah.
So did you go from the 105-pound scrawny kid to that hulk of a human?
So there was like the transformation. So I came out of high school. When I joined the Marine Corps, I was like out of boot camp, I was like 120 pounds.
Okay.
So I go to my first duty station. I meet this dude who's super yoked. And he started like, I was like, hey, I want to like get into fitness. So he started teaching me some things. So I learned a little bit, and then I deployed, and like I kind of kept working out there. So I got a little bit bigger, and then like I kind of fell off a little bit. And then like as I continuously progressed, mostly when I would deploy because you have the most downtime. Yeah. As I progressed, like I just kept like learning more, like teaching myself, reading up on it. And then finally, like that 2011 was like, it would have been my peak. But ever since then, like I've for the most part been consistent to an extent and stayed. It like a reasonable, like I am now like floated like 175, which is like unreal for me to sit at that weight. So, and then now it's just consistency for me.
Yeah. It's just maintaining that. If anyone has any questions about Little Evil's time in the Marines or in high school, for that matter, go ahead and hang out in the waiting room, you guys. And we can go ahead and drag you in. Limp, I don't know if your question involves this. But yeah, if you pop in there, we'll go ahead and drag you in. But yeah, okay. So that's why I had the question about the gallon of water, right? Like, is it because you seem to be in pretty great shape? Okay, I don't absolutely nothing about working out or fitness or anything like that. But I heard that is like a urban myth that you need to drink a specific amount of water every day, that actually you should just drink the water whenever you're thirsty, not like you're required to have like a, what is it, like a 8 or
some,
I forgot what
it's
it
like
is.
8 ounces or something like that, or something. I don't know
Yeah.
the exact guideline, but like the gallon of water is like a fair amount of water each day, like
Okay.
a gallon. And I easily crush like a gallon just because
You
I feel
just
like
drink
I'm
a
always
lot. Yeah.
thirsty, and then I'm working out, so I'm sweating constantly, and then
Yeah.
it just I don't really drink. Like I said, I drink water,
Uh-huh.
Bud Light, and vodka. There's
Okay.
usually no in between. That's it.
It's just
Like,
one of those 3 at all times.
I might have some orange juice if I feel like I'm getting sick. Just be
Yeah.
like, all right, that's
Some
it.
vitamin
Otherwise,
C. Yeah.
maybe if I've really been on like a good party weekend, maybe some cranberry juice to like restore
Yeah.
the inner organs. But otherwise, a lot of water.
All right, let's
all
go.
the time.
Let's go take a call from Rest. Let's see, Rest.
All right.
Go ahead, Rest. What do you got?
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah. He's the absolute worst. Haley, you got a question for Little Evil?
This is Matt's question.
Okay.
And it's, what is your max deadlift?
Oh,
All right,
Mine is, do you have an e-pal?
an EPAL. So
do you know what an EPAL is?
I don't. So I was gonna say I don't even know what that is.
Okay, an EPAL it's a website that you can sign up for where people can basically rent you
Oh.
to play video games with them. It started off for as girls, like e-girls, right? You could rent an e-girl. So if you want to play Call of Duty with an e-girl, you pay an e-girl $15. She'll play like 3 games of Call of Duty with you.
Oh my god, this is the thing.
That's a thing. But then, people started being like, hey, that's sexist. What if I want to be rented out? So now it's called e-pal. So you could be guys or girls. And
Sign me up.
yeah, well, get your thirst trap picture profile set up there, and I promise you'll get some business, sir. Okay, but what about
All right.
let's get the deadlift.
So I don't know how many people are actually watching and how many of these people are into fitness, but whoever
Yeah.
asked that, so you will be surprised to hear that I do not deadlift, and I do not really believe in deadlifts. I am not a fan of them. I almost never do them. So I don't know my max, and I can't tell you a max on any lift I do because it's never been my focus. My focus has always been like the physique and like looking is, as good as I can at the time. So I've never had a max in any lift, and a lot of people probably wouldn't believe that, but it's never been something I cared about. All people are always like, "What's your max on bench?" I can't tell you. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, because you're just in there doing reps. You're going for cut. You're not.
It's just like the physique. Like, I want to just look decent and then be strong and fit, but what I lift, if I can deadlift 300 pounds, is that really going to translate to anything important in my life? No, because I sit in a chair most of the time,
What if you're come across someone trapped under a car or something like that? You know what I mean? Maybe there's a big tree trunk on top of them. You got to get it off. A big tree branch fell.
I feel like the adrenaline alone, and then I don't know.
All right. Well, we're gonna need you to go to the gym, hit that deadlift, and then come back.
I'm gonna do
back to Matt.
Just
Try one deadlift and just see what we got. All right. Thank you, Haley, so much. Let's go ahead and let's get Rest in here. Rest, what is your question, sir?
Oh yeah, is my mic too loud or anything?
No, you're perfectly good, sir. You're perfectly good.
I have 2 questions. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So the first one is, have you been shot?
Oh.
Okay, so I have a funny side story to that. So technically, yes, but never in the military. It was when I was a young child, and it was by my friend with a BB gun, and I still have the BB in my left arm.
What?
Swear to God, it's my left arm. It's literally if I do this right, you might be able to see it on camera.
Oh no.
I don't think I'll get the right angle. It's literally
I think you had the right lighting for it. Yeah.
It's right here. So I have technically been shot, but in the military, I have not physically been shot. No.
You were deployed, right? Or no? Were you ever deployed?
I've been deployed 6 total times.
Okay.
3 of which were to combat zones.
And you seen action?
Technically 4, but so I'm what everyone will say is an air winger.
Okay.
So you're never gonna catch. Okay, I won't say never. You rarely will catch us in like a firefight. Outside of a base, in like a gunfight with anyone. There have been occasions, especially in Afghanistan, where they actually have gotten onto the base and they had to defend themselves. Yeah, it was a huge thing in Afghanistan, and it would have been maybe 2013 or 14, where they snuck onto a base in Afghanistan, and they actually killed a couple of the Marines. They were stationed from Yuma, Arizona. They were part of the air wing, which is almost unheard of. So it happens, and a lot of them had to like defend themselves and all that. But
that's crazy.
But again, like the aircraft is a major part of the military's strength. So the aircraft is a target. It's always a target. So I've been on bases in Iraq and Afghanistan where you get these what would be like 5-inch rockets, which are very large, fired from like over mountain ranges to the base, and their whole intent is to hit, you know, the military personnel or infrastructure, or specifically the aircraft, because that affects our readiness, our ability to target them.
Yeah.
So I've been on these bases where we've had incoming, and it's been very close to us. And
man,
buildings have been hit, and it's pretty crazy. But that is the extent of like my action. I've seen, you know, our attacks. I've seen some explosions. I've seen a car bombing at like a front gate of a base, but that's it. I've never been like shot at by an actual fire.
Okay. What's your second question, Russ? Sorry about that.
Well, how do you know how many like confirmed kills that you have? And is that something that like no, I'm serious. Okay, so you know, like, I mean, I guess my only extent of like watching military movies is just like the American Sniper one.
Yeah.
And they like talk about him getting recognition back home for an amount of confirmed kills. But the way I see it, you don't like go to see like, hey, how many people did we just take out? Or are there like drones that like go over and do recon to like kind of
body count,
give a post like of like you know what actually just went down? Like, is that like a thing to where you know like the damage that you've done?
So like our damage that we do is only by association. Like my job is to build we build weapons, bombs. We deal with like missiles and rockets and aircraft gun systems. Now these bombs, they do get dropped on the bad people, and we do get the like surveillance, like the D-class footage of it after they determine it can be declassified. And you see people getting blown up. You see people getting mowed down by aircraft guns and all that. So I wouldn't say we get confirmed kills, but by association, like those are our weapons that we make sure are ready to go and built properly to work effectively. I have seen videos. I've seen videos, especially ones from Iraq, where I mean, we're taking out like bunkers of terrorists.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's nuts.
So
fucking Kate, I hate you. Kate wants to know what's your KD.
KD. Well, I mean, I'm still alive, so I'm unstoppable on KD.
He's 100%.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
I'm done with her.
I was gonna say that. I didn't know if that was like gonna fly, so I didn't phrase it that way. That was the original question. That was the original question. For sure.
All right.
So 0 deaths so far. I'm hoping to keep that going for at least the next 5 to 10 years.
No response.
Jeez.
Yeah, there is no response.
All right. Well, thank you, Russ.
I really do appreciate it, and thank you for your service, dude. Like,
I appreciate you.
Know, that's just such a level of bravery that like a lot of people, including myself, like can't imagine like trying to do what you're doing with as much like mental fortitude as you have while doing it, you know.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
So thank you, dude.
All right. Thank you. All right, see you later, Russ. Thank you so much. Also Haley brought up a very good question. Have you seen Aliens?
I have not.
No, but that would be more the Air Force. The Air Force, I think, would Air Force would have more intel on that, though. Haley. Yeah. All right. Looks like we have a lot of other people who might. Matitude, let's bring him in. Matitude, what is your question you got for Little Evil? Don't be shy now, buddy. Nothing.
Send it.
Froze. He froze. All right. Matt, if you end up remembering the question, go ahead and let me know in the chat. I'll bring you back in here. Let's get Glizzy Gob. Glizzy Gob.
Let's go.
What question do you have, Glizzy?
What type of training / workouts did you have to do when you were in the Marines?
Oh, that's good.
Okay, so we do a standard. We have a standard unit PT program where we, for the most part, go out Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and it varies. I mean, we are focused on a bit of everything, you know, strength, stamina, speed, your endurance, just your ability to do multiple things. So it's like I can't say a specific training exercise. We do such a large variety, from like calisthenics to like HIIT to everything to like keep you in shape and prepare you for like basically anything, just to have the just the ability to adapt and accomplish anything as that says. But we do train specifically for 2 events each year, which is our physical fitness test, which is a 3-mile run, pull-ups, crunches, and now it's changed to planks as an alternate to the crunches. And then we do a combat fitness test, which is to cater towards like in a combat situation, like running with like a person on your back if need be. And it's a sprint in full uniform. Some ammo can lifts that I think right now should be 30 pounds if I'm not mistaken, and you got to lift it so many times over your head.
Holy.
And then there's an obstacle course essentially where you got to run in full uniform, in and out of some cones, throw like a fake grenade, carry a person, drag them, all this stuff. And it's just to make sure that you're capable to perform
Those
in like
tasks
a
in
combat
action.
environment. Yeah. And so that's what everything we ultimately do is cater to. But there is, like I said, there's no specific. We have such a wide variety. I've done every kind of like physical training that you can think of.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for your question, Glizzy.
That's a good question.
Yeah. All right. Let's get Majin Buu in here, and then we'll. Limp, did you have a question, Limp, or no? So I can drag you in, or are you waiting to ask at another time? Because this is specifically more towards the high school military stuff. Majin Buu, what's your question?
So, like, what did you have to do to pass the training to become a Marine?
Okay, I mean, so that's a good question. So to basically get through our basic training, it's I can't tell you what it's at now, but it should still be like a standard of 13 weeks with 3 different phases. And it just teaches you the basics of everything, like basic Marine Corps rank, uniforms, all that stuff, and then your physical ability, being able to qualify with a rifle, and then just like your endurance. We would go on hikes, 5-mile hikes, 10-mile hikes, different training events. Essentially, if you could get through boot camp without saying, "Hey, I quit," or, well, I mean, that's really it. If you could, you either just said, "Hey, I quit," or you couldn't pass like the physical fitness test or qualify on the range, or you got physically hurt like and couldn't continue, you're gonna get through. But I would say basic training is probably my like fondest memory of the Marine Corps because it was so challenging, it was so new. But you just did so much cool stuff, like nighttime stuff, like the weird firing events, shooting on the rifle range, the hikes. It was just a unique experience going down the rappel wall. It was just crazy. But it's it. Just don't quit, pass the fitness test, and don't get hurt. And then, I mean, you have to be respectful. You can't just like tell, the drill instructor like, "Hey man, go fuck yourself." Yeah. That's not going to fly. That's it.
All right. Thank you for your question, Majin Buu. Limp, let's get Limp's question real quick. Go ahead, Limp. This is not related to the Marines or high school, right? This is just a stream question.
Yeah. So my question is, what has been your favorite game to stream, and has that related to kind of like, do your viewers also enjoy it more? Like, has it been your viewers' favorite that you stream also?
I would have to say Fortnite, because I feel like Fortnite's just one of the more popular games right now, and I've enjoyed it, and it's just entertaining. Like, a lot of fun shit can happen during Fortnite. Like, a lot of stupid things happen during Fortnite. And it's just fun to watch people sometimes, especially when you're having fun with it. Like, sometimes I get a little ragey because Fortnite will irritate you, and like you want to win, but for the most part, I have a good time playing it. We always do terrible things because we're just not that good, and it usually results in like a good time, good laughs, and then I think a lot of people enjoy, being decent at the game, but also like those fun moments, like, wow, these fools just crashed their helicopter and died, and that was it. Like, it ended like that. Yeah, that's why I would say Fortnite. Fortnite's fun because it's casually competitive. Like, if you really wanted to get on there and play competitively, you can, or you can just in any game. You know what I mean? You can, in one single game, you can have a casual like messing around type, and then instantly go into a competitive mode, and then back to messing around where you're trying to like knock each other off mountains and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But thank you for the question, Limp. Good question, man. Yeah. All right. Here, let's get Tilsford in, because Tilsford's been winning well. Tilsford, what's your question?
Can I go to the bathroom?
I'm done with you, bro. Get out of here. Also, Matt. Okay, Matt. So his answer for the deadlift thing was that he's not working out to get strong. Or he's working out to get in shape. To an extent, get strong, but yeah. But you're not going for like PRs.
Yeah, but I mean, like you're saying with like the tree or lifting a car, like how many
Yeah.
times will I come across that? Hopefully never.
Yeah.
But in that situation, I think you could do it. But I'm not going to just lift like 400 pounds one time for no reason. This is
Yeah.
crazy. I'll probably blow my back out.
Yeah. Also, Crab, I can't open your question because it'll mess up the entire screen. Crab, so if you wanted to ask your question, go ahead and just type it out here in the chat and we can go ahead and get to that. But let's move on to, so you went from high school straight to the Marines. When did you meet Sheena, your wife?
Well, I made a terrible mistake many years before her, as many people do in the military, and they're young and they're like, "Oh, I want to get married. Like, I'm ready to do it. Like, and it's more money, and I'll be fine." So I made a mistake that played its, that ran its course, and then I moved on from that. So, regardless, so I would have met Sheena. So technically, I met Sheena traveling from Phoenix to I think North Carolina on Tinder.
Mhm.
We both swipe.
Okay.
And then it was probably like 6 months later where like we had added each other on like Instagram and Snapchat, and like we would see each other, but we didn't really like interact. And then it just so happened that she was coming through Yuma, Arizona, where I was stationed,
Okay.
on her way to Mexico from Phoenix. And she hit me up and was like, "Hey, is there anything in like Yuma to do?" And I was like, I mean, like there's this club, like it's all right. Like you go there, have some drinks, like it's a decent little spot before you head on to Mexico like the next day. And she's like, "Oh, cool." And I was like, I don't even want to deal with this. Like, it's just, I'm not ready. Like, I'm not drinking tonight. I'm taking it easy. And then she's like, "Well, do you want to meet up?" So like, all right, boys, get over here. Let's slam some vodka. We're going out.
Yeah.
And then sure enough, we went out. I met up with her. And I mean, that was it. I impressed her with my abilities to slam an excessive amount of vodka, and it impressed her, I guess.
That's
and she never went to Mexico. She never went to Mexico, and that was it.
That's freaking awesome. That's crazy. Then so
we are a true
from Tinder.
Yep.
A Tinder marriage.
Yeah.
Actually, King Crab wants to know, how bad does it feel to lose to him by less than 10 points in fantasy football?
Wow, we're really gonna do that right here, like live. I feel attacked,
bruh. I don't think Sean is here. Sean, listen, we're gonna go. I can't get over this. We're gonna show this thirst trap again, Sean. You need to see this. Do you see what I'm talking about? This, Matt.
The worst part is there's the delay, so I gotta wait, and then it pops up.
Matt, this is why you don't care about. I wouldn't give a fuck if I could deadlift 10 pounds. If I look like this and I couldn't deadlift 10 pounds, I wouldn't give two shits, Matt.
The entire deployment, I don't think I did a single deadlift, not a single one.
Yeah. Okay, so you met Sheena on Tinder. She fell in love with your incredible drinking power, with your throat game. You were just pounding those vodkas.
Yeah. I mean, it was a shit show. Like, I mean, we went out, like, we all partied, raged, and like that night she lost her dog. I don't know how. She were staying at some hotels. We went together, and like her dog ran away.
The night you guys went out.
This night and then we found her dog, and then she was a mess, and then we ended up back in my apartment, and like more things happened that I don't remember, but apparently it was a really good time, and that like sold it. And then next day we did, I'm sure some people are familiar with the float down. Well, Yuma, it's like Arizona, it's super popular. Down a river drink. So next day I'm still drunk, and we go do a float down, and we just kind of like party again, and then that was like it. We just kept talking. Eventually,
what year was it? Oh, I mean, people do float downs all the time. Because I went to a float down a while back, but in Arizona, but it was fun. It's a lot of fun. You float forever. Like you're like, forever, shit. When are we gonna get to the end?
And Arizona heat is no joke.
Yeah, it's no. So you're like, I was just an alligator. Like 3/4 of the way through, I was just an alligator, just like eyes only above the water. The rest of my body's under. Is like, I can't be outside anymore. My skin will literally burn off. I cannot be in that floaty. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's brutal, but I mean, it's a good time. It's a really good time.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's sealed the deal. And then, like we kind of worked things out to where she eventually moved to Yuma, and then boom, here we are.
For those of you who are unfamiliar, because you guys are who don't live around the Arizona area, so a float down is basically where you park your cars at the bottom. It's a river, right? You park your cars at the bottom of a river, then you get in like these transport buses or whatever they have, and they take you up, and it's like angled, so the river flows down, right, and then they drive you up to the top of it basically, and then you all get out. Everybody has like floaties, like inner tubes and stuff. You go hop in it, and then you just drink. You have rafts and inner tubes, and you just literally just drink.
4 hours of drinking.
4 hours, and you're floating down a river for hours. Yeah, 4 hours is literally floating down the river until you get to the bottom. Then you get out at the end, and then you go to your car and you drive home drunk. No, you don't. You always have a DD. You always have a DD with you. But yes,
Yeah, of course, responsibility.
but yeah, so it's just 4 hours of just floating in a river. I was saying I was an alligator because literally halfway through, I was like, I can't be in this heat anymore. So I'm in the water and just floating down the river, but only my eyes are popped out over the water. So yeah. But not all rivers flow down, LME. Is that how they work? No, because there's, I don't know, maybe slightly, but yeah. Anyways, that's what a float down is. But okay, so you guys met on Tinder. You met up, and she lost her dog the night you guys met up.
Lost it. We found it after like a little adventure through some like back alleys of Yuma, and I don't know if how many people are familiar with Yuma. Yuma's like slightly sketchy. Yeah, like the dog just got out of the hotel they're staying, and somehow we found the dog. We got the dog situated. I think we even took the dog to my apartment for all I remember. And then, yeah.
What if she was a mastermind and she released the dog on purpose? Like she had a friend hang out with the dog and be like, okay, we're going to pretend this dog's lost. Okay. We're going to have this guy hang out with me all night. And if he doesn't help me find this dog, this guy's a scumbag. And I'm not gonna hook up with this guy. But if he actually helps me, maybe he's a good guy and he's worth keeping around. So we're gonna see how that goes. And then at the end, you guys, it's in this random alleyway. Who would have known it'd be here?
Put it by her. I wouldn't put it by her. I wouldn't even be surprised. Wouldn't even be surprised. And maybe someday she'll own up to it. Maybe she can hear me right now, but
one day she'll own up to it on your deathbed. She'll just be like, I never really lost the dog. You're like, wait, what? Oh my God, bro.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Now, Sheena games with you a lot.
She does, yeah.
Has she always been a gamer, or was that something you introduced her to?
All right, so she's going to claim she's always been a gamer.
Oh, God.
She's going to say, I always played this, I always played that. Yeah. But I mean...
Does she have siblings? Does she have older brothers and stuff?
They're all younger.
Oh, okay.
So she said she played with her like young brothers.
Got you.
Which, I mean, since I met her, like, I remember us playing. Like, we would play some games. We would game a lot. She knew I gamed a lot, so she would play, or sometimes she would watch. But now we're at the point where it's easy to play like a game like Fortnite together. Like, she doesn't play like Halo and other stuff with me, but Fortnite's fun, It's like
something she can get into. Yeah, for sure.
She can get into. So it just gives us something to do instead of like me playing all the time and her just like doing whatever. It gives her an opportunity to spend time with me while I do it, and then other times, like it's just gonna be me playing. Yeah. But it gives us, the opportunity to spend more time together. So, but it's cool.
Yeah, and she seems to genuinely enjoy gaming with you, like on stream and stuff. Like, have you guys talked about her starting up a channel for herself? Is that something she's interested in at all? Because she's also seems really comfortable. Like a lot of people, like my wife, there's no way in hell I can get her to comfortably game with me. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But she seems really like, she seems natural at like being on camera with you and interacting with chat and stuff like that while you're gaming.
So she would be an atrocious gamer. I mean, it would just be awful to watch. It wouldn't be fun to watch her. Like, I'm not very good at a lot of games I play, but oh man, if you're looking for skill, it would not be her.
Yeah.
But she is very comfortable speaking to people. She would be very comfortable behind the camera. She's obviously not bad to look at. So like we discussed it at one point, but like I just don't like think that overall is something she enjoys sitting with me. So we talked about like eventually maybe like cleaning it up a little bit and like figuring out a way to kind of put her with her own camera, and then like how I do my green screen, and like I have my cutout, she has her cutout, and just make it look nicer so she can sit here and she's not uncomfortable, because she literally sits here in my child's chair,
like in the back,
toddler's chair, like over here tucked in a corner, and I feel obligated to keep her in, but she's just kind of like right there. But so we do want to eventually like find a better, cleaner way to include her, but right now it's worked. It works. So she has fun with us playing, and like, and then people interact, people like seeing her now. So like some of the viewers have gotten used to like, oh, it's Sheena, hey Sheena, and funny little jokes, and so it's a good time. Yeah, she enjoys it.
Okay, yeah, because I was just always curious if she saw like how much fun you have, and like, you know what I mean? Because I know a lot of people, people who aren't into like the streaming world, when they hear like about streaming and stuff, it's not really like, they imagine it being this completely different thing. And so I was always wondering if she saw you and saw how much fun you're having, and saw like how much fun streaming actually is when you're enjoying yourself, and if she was like, oh, I want to try that, but
I
That makes
think
sense.
it is part of like her seeing like, oh, it's a lot of fun like interacting
Yeah.
with people. It's like it's fun to sit here and like bullshit with people
Yeah.
and like talk and like funny jokes and like talk shit to each other and just
Yeah.
like banter and like, and so now like she's part of that. She enjoys it. Like,
Okay.
does she always want to do it? No, it's like she's not like, I would probably do it every day if I could, which for the most part I almost do at this point. But a lot of those days she's included because she enjoys doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was even going to ask you about getting her own setup too, because I was like, yeah, I wonder if that was something they would want to look into, just because you guys honestly do have such great chemistry with each other, like as you guys are playing together. Do you know what I mean? To where she's almost feels like she's like just as much a part of the stream as you are when you're live. You guys are playing.
Definitely. So, I mean, we did eventually get her because she was doing like Fortnite cross-platform and she was chilling on the couch. We're like, let's get you a laptop so like we can play more stuff together, at least like a gaming laptop to an extent, so we can play different games. Because Fortnite's fun, but eventually like it's nice to play something else. So we got her that. So that was a start. Like, and we're gonna like progress from there. The biggest holdback for us is our move from South Carolina. We went from owning a house with a lot of room and a gaming room specifically to California, where everything's really expensive.
Yeah.
And we just weren't ready. We're still selling our house. We weren't like situated. We're like, let's just do a year apartment and chill. The apartment, it just isn't accommodating for like a good setup. Like I'm in my living room / like kitchen where I'm all at, because we have 2 rooms. So it just, the space and the setup is just a little tough right now to make it work right.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm gonna send you later on a channel of this couple that streams that I've followed for a while now, and they have I haven't even checked in on them in it's probably been like a year, but they had a really cool setup. And the wife, she sometimes she'll play, but for the most part she's just there, just helping her husband just kind of stream. But it's their channel together. But it's just really cool. It reminds me a lot of what you guys got going on. And then also you guys have adorable kids. You have 2 kids, right?
I mean, we have 2 kids. So I have 3.
Okay.
I have 3 kids, but we have 2 together.
Oh, okay. Oh, you have, because there's an older daughter, right?
I have an older daughter from my previous mistake.
Gotcha.
The daughter's not the mistake, but the other. The mother is the
I relate to you 100%. Oh, how old's the oldest?
So my oldest is 12.
Oh shoot. Oh yeah, you're like me. You're like me then. Like it gets scary. It's scary. Like wait, 12 is what? Is it 6th grade?
Yes. So but right about 6th grade. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then middle school, it was a nightmare, and then high school is just.
She's getting into.
I just don't want to live
those phases now, and she's got a phone. It's just like crazy.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's like obviously she doesn't live here, but she's the easy one. The 2, I would call them terrorists that live with me. They're awesome. They're great kids. Yeah. But they live to terrorize me.
Oh, they're hilarious though. They're absolutely
adorable. They're amazing kids, but they live to terrorize me specifically.
If you guys follow him on his social media, primarily his Instagram or his TikTok, and you see the videos of his kids, they are freaking hilarious. They're so freaking funny. And like I was like, have you ever thought of starting like where Sheena could run a TikTok or an Instagram specifically for all the crazy shit your kids do?
So we haven't really we never discussed that, but like I don't want to say it, but I'm definitely more the social media savvy when it comes to like making the funnier content. So I do better at like, it's also good timing. Yeah. But I do better at like piecing together like the funny parts of what they do and making it kind of funnier, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, because that stuff's huge. That stuff's super huge. Like, and I'm all for like streamers and stuff like that incorporating their personal lives into their social media, because that's what I feel the social media is for. The social media is to kind of like what we're doing now, like where you get to know them personally, you get to see what they do when they're not streaming. So I 100% am for like all that. Like I want to see the family stuff. I want to see what you guys are doing on your off days, stuff like that. Yeah.
But I relate better to people that there's more to them. Just like streaming is awesome, gaming is awesome. I don't even care if it's your family or kids. I like to see other things, like you play sports, you watch sports, you like this. Like I don't care. I don't know. You like to, I don't know, do weird stuff. But if you do weird stuff, like that's more interesting than just you all the time strictly like
just gaming.
This, game that. Like I like to see more to people.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. But every time I see your kids stuff, I'm like, man, because my wife and her friends, they're like, they're like the essential oils type, like they're all into that kind of stuff. And I'm like, man, like it must be so easy to be successful in that area because like it's almost like a cookie cutter recipe. Do you know what I mean? It's like Ugg season. You throw on the black leggings, the Uggs, and you get your pumpkin spice, and then you're good. And then all the other moms are like, oh, I love it. And it's like, so I'm like, man, if you did that with your kids, like all those moms would eat those kids up. They'd be like, oh my God, these kids are the best content. I need to see more of them. And I feel like those Instagram pages would just blow up with them.
It probably would. And I feel like TikTok blocks and bans a bunch of my stuff because like, I mean, it's a kid, like my daughter will be like, she won't have a shirt on, but she just took a shit. She just took a shit on the floor,
all over the floor.
And TikTok doesn't fuck with shirts off. But they fuck with like twerking and everything else. But, and so like I can't post that stuff on there, and some of it's just the funniest shit in the world.
Yeah.
They've literally removed, I think, 2 of my videos. One was my daughter shitting in the bathtub, even though you couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
I blocked everything. And then when she shit on my floor the second time or third time, I've lost track.
Bro, the video of her, what was she doing when she just punched herself in the face? Like, was she like spinning around or something?
Oh, we were like, we do walks around our little apartment complex, and they were like spinning around the tree. And then I just like, that was like one of those moments, like perfect timing. She stopped and she was like, bam. And then like, she was in this phase of like, she likes to punch herself in the face. So she smashed herself one good time and she was about to do it again. But that first hit, she realized like, whoa,
it phased her. She's like, whoa.
Yeah, I almost slept myself on that first one. I probably shouldn't do this again. And then she like stopped and she just looked at me and then that was it. But it's just like funny things like that.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite videos of her. Like it drives because it's out of it's for no, like they're just having fun going around the tree and she just stops. Just stops, closes her fist and just whack.
Her and my son were sitting on their little table watching TV one day, and they antagonize me, so you better believe I'm going to antagonize back.
Oh yeah.
But sometimes one of the two get the repercussions. So I was antagonizing, and I think I posted a video, or I need to repost it, and I threw like a little plastic ball at my son, and it like hit his bowl, and that made him mad. So he just made his weird little like, and then he just like blasts her in the chest. But I got it which is like you don't okay, but when you capture that on video, it's funny. Like it's funny as long as the kids are fine. It's funny.
Yeah. As long as they're not honestly hurt. Yeah.
So it's they just do stuff like that all the time, and like I don't even catch half of it, which I wish I like. Sometimes my wife's like, stop recording them. But, like you never know when they're gonna do something weird.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's great to show them when they're older, when they're like in high school. You're like, look how
you guys acted.
Yeah, you guys are idiots. Look at this. Do you? Okay, so me and my wife, right? We do it endearing, like in an endearing like way, right? So we call her an idiot all the time, but not like as an idiot. We're just like, God, you're such a little idiot. I love you. But people like, we always have like friends and family like, you guys can't say that in public. Like people are gonna think like you're abusing your children. But like, no, I know, but you know, like they're like, yeah, no, we know what you mean, but you can't call them like, get over here, you little dumbass. I love you. You can't say that.
So I am that parent. She's not. She loves and adores the kids and is like we can't say these things.
Yeah, because you're gonna affect them. You're gonna.
I'm the one that's like, hey, Michael, I just took a giant shit. And he's like, you took a shit? You took a shit? She's like, you can't say it, Michael. Don't say that bad word. And I'm like, shit. So then he's like, shit. I'm that parent.
Yeah.
Or like, hey, get over here, or I'm gonna beat your ass. And
exactly.
Then my son will be like, hey, Bubba's gonna beat your ass. They call me Bubba because she's Persian, so they'll be like Bubba.
Yeah.
And like Michael to Everest, like Everest, Bubba's gonna beat your ass.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, and it's funny. It's just it's like there's no harm in it. But yeah, there are times when I'm out. Like the other day, it was yesterday.
Yeah.
I like to chuck water balls up there. All right, cool. So we chuck these water balls and they fall and like it broke a hole. Yeah. So I'm out there drawing a dick on the sidewalk, and there's people walking around everywhere. And it's like you can't do that.
Yeah,
like, people are watching. I'm like, why can't I? And my son is like, oh, so he calls it a ZZ. He's like, it's a ZZ. It's a ZZ. And everyone's walking by, and here's me drawing little water dicks all over the concrete while people are just walking evening strolls, just enjoying their life.
That's freaking hilarious.
So, I'm that parent, and I have no shame with it because they're ultimately like they're very smart kids, they're good kids, and like I know that they'll be fine. Like it's harmless fun. So.
Yeah. And how about like as far as streaming goes, like how has that affected your family? Because I know for me, and my wife, it's it's a very hard balancing act of the time that I invest into the stream and making sure that I'm spending adequate time with the family.
Yeah. So, oh no, go ahead.
No, and I was just gonna say, like, how have you been able to juggle that? Like, how has that been for Sheena? Because I know there's been a couple times like where I can where she reminds me a lot of my wife. Where like the time where I saw it initially, and I was like, oh my god, that's 100% what my wife would say. It was when you first like started telling people about the channel points for your dog to eat the peanut butter out of your mouth, and she's like, why would you make that a thing? And then you're like, because it's funny. And she's like, but why would you choose to do that out of and like my wife would be the same. She'd be like, you can do anything you want. And that's what, like, what are you stupid? What are you doing? And it's like, no, but you don't, it's because you don't get it. It's hilarious.
So with the juggling, like earlier on, it was a lot tougher. Like I didn't have a schedule. It was like, I want to get on stream, but like kids are awake. So now as I've like kind of established my schedule where I'm going to stream and play, it's easy. And then if we want to stream other nights after the kids go to bed, it's not bad because we have like a very specific schedule, like the time to hang out. Then the kids go lay down. I start streaming. She'll put them to sleep for me on the nights where it's my time. And then she'll either join me after or she won't play that night. So now it's not so bad. But there's definitely times where like, you know, hey, this funny shit happened on stream or like this little clip or something. And then so I'll like do a lot of like editing little clips for like TikTok and everything else on my phone. So I'll be on my phone a lot. Yeah. And that's when it's like, well, look, I'm just trying, you know, I got to do this. Like I got to put out stuff every day. Like that's like the golden rule is always putting out like, you know, as much as you can. So I would say that's the biggest thing now is, and I'm getting better at like doing things faster, but there's times where I'm probably on my phone so much, like get off your phone, get off your phone, be in the moment. And that, but overall, like it's, compared to where I started, where I'm at now, it's much better, and like it'll probably only get better as I get quicker about going and like doing things smoother, and the kids will get easier, so it'll make it a lot easier for both of us. Like just right now, they're just that age where they're chaotic. So the biggest thing is like getting them situated and us not being at each other's throats because she's stressed because of kids, and I'm trying to get on and like stream and whatnot. But I think we're doing pretty well with it. Because
that's my biggest thing. And it's hard to convey because she doesn't, like, my wife doesn't really understand that, like, just because I ended stream doesn't mean that like my work for the stream is done. Like there's so much stuff that happens outside of streaming that you need to do in order to grow or to you know to get your brand out there. And so like that's a big struggle that I have with her is trying to find that time, because like it's so hard for me to clip because I like, if no one clips during the stream, I have to then go back and you know, go through all the stream footage and be like, okay, let me clip the stuff. And then that takes time to edit, like you said. And then, you know, the social media, I always want to be on Twitter because, you know, so many people support me and I don't want to never not support back. And since I don't have the time to watch everyone all the time, the least I can do is to be there to like their posts or to check out what they're posting on their social media. So that's the thing that I get in trouble for a lot, as well as being on my phone constantly. That's probably the hardest part, is like trying to support everyone else back, because it's like as soon as I finish streaming, like I'm exhausted for the most part when I'm on my normal schedules. Like I usually don't do anything after unless it was something really good and I want to put it out the next day. Otherwise it's to bed, get up super early, grind at work, get home, family time, and I just try and do it like a little bit while I'm at work, or as soon as I get home, I just try and squeeze in. So sometimes it's like, all right, I'm doing a little too much and I just need to step away. That's probably the other thing. And then like what you said with the community goals, like sometimes you're just a little bit like, why do you want the dog to eat peanut butter out of your mouth? Or like, you're like, I swear it's not a kink. It's not a kink. It's just something funny. I'm just trying to be different. Like do fun shit, or at least in my, like, I've got a simple sense of humor. I do something different, something that maybe people find fun, or they'll be like, hey, that's fucking weird. Like, but hey, you know what? I can't do everything for everyone. So I'll just do what you would think is funny. That's what I do. If I'm like, look, if I was a viewer, I would want this to be a channel point goal to, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. I get it 100%. Yeah. But yeah, it's definitely tough. It's definitely a tough thing to juggle. And then I'm lucky enough to work from home. So I can't even imagine someone like you who has to actually go to work and then come home and then find the time for the kids and the wife and do all the extra stuff and stream. Like that has to be so difficult. It's just like the work is easy, spending time with family. It's just like
by the end of the day, I'm tired, and it's like,
Yeah.
all right, man, I gotta be up at 5 a.m. tomorrow, or the kids are gonna wake up anyways. Like,
Yeah.
so I just want to go to sleep, and then it's just finding the time in between everything to get it done, and not feeling like overwhelmed. Like, man, I've got too much to do. So,
Yeah.
but now I'm at a point where I'm starting to find a routine. I'm getting better at kind of like clipping my stuff or like writing things down as reminders, like, hey, this happened here, and then going back and like quickly like cut, and then I'll edit a lot of stuff from my phone while I'm at work in between doing stuff. So
that's awesome. Yeah, that's the key, is definitely get yourself on a routine and try to find ways to shortcut. Like writing down stuff, I'm so horrible at that kind of stuff, but doing that will help me out so much, because then it'll save me so much time later on. Yeah. So I definitely need to work on that kind of stuff. What about as far as investing more into the stream? Have you found yourself, like, as you are growing more, like investing more into, like, as far as equipment, or even more time? Like, even when I told my wife, like, oh, hey, I'm bringing back the podcast, so so on Tuesdays I'm going to be doing that, and with her, she was kind of like, you're adding more stuff to the streaming thing. It's like, I am, but I'm not. You know what I mean? So I don't know if that has been a thing that you've been thinking about, like, as far as wanting to upgrade equipment, if that's something that like that you have to actually put a lot of thought into, or if that's something that you have just been putting off until kind of it pays for itself from streaming.
So as far as like the equipment, well, the timing, the adding additional time of streaming. So she's very flexible with the fact that, like, I'm now doing everything with like live link when the opportunities come. So she's flexible with that. Like, hey, I just let her know ahead of time, like, this is why I'm gonna try and do this. And she's pretty good about like, all right, cool. Like I'll deal with the kids that day. I just let her know. So that's like my additional time in the streaming, or just doing different stuff. Not so much my stream, but like interacting with like you guys and like Limp and everyone else that's part of that team. But then as far as like equipment, I mean, I want everything. Like I want to spend so much money on everything, but I'm being smart about it. Like, do I need it?
Yeah.
No. Would it be nice? Yes. So I'm just kind of like slowly going, just working on like improving my actual, like, hey, like being active with my chat, like supporting others, being on socials. Like, I don't even use my YouTube yet, but that's something I need to start utilizing. Yeah. Because I'm not even there yet. Those are things I want to do. And then equipment, I mean, I feel like for the most part, I'm going to stand still because of my situation here. But once I eventually move, I feel like I want everything. Like, I want your setup, you know what I mean? Like, I want something cool like that. I want something better to look at behind me. But like right now, I think I'm mostly content. Like, there's things I think about, like, I could get a better camera. I could get a little more lighting. Maybe like a different green screen, because I use the one on my chair and like I move a lot. Yeah. So like sometimes I get little gaps, like maybe get like the projector style. Like, there's things I want, but at the same time, like,
you're fine without them.
If people aren't complaining, and like, I got some people still coming back, and it's like, we're just interacting, and that's working. Then I'm. So
if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. The main thing that I know I need to get, I want to get more emotes, and I want to do better with like my overlays and like transitions, because I have none of that shit. It's just like, hey, here's me. And that's it.
Okay. Yeah, and that stuff is something you can learn to do on your own, or you can go on Fiverr and get for like, so it wouldn't be like a huge investment. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. That's smart. That's definitely smart. Yeah. Because a lot of people go all in. Me included, you know what I mean? But I am like that. My wife hates that about me, that anything, as soon as I get into something, I'm all in on it. I got into golf, and before I even knew if I really liked it or not, I went and bought a whole new golf set. Do you know what I mean? And she's like, you don't even know if you're going to keep golfing. I'm like, yeah, but I know I'm like it right now. And I don't want to buy like a $50 club set that's going to be absolute trash, and then I'd be like, okay, now I have to wait to buy I'd rather just buy a good one now, so that way I don't have to worry about it later. And then the clubs, like golf clubs, like people have golf clubs for years. Even though it is kind of expensive, it's going to last me a solid, 10, 20 years before I need to really replace them.
Exactly. Yeah. And my wife's pretty good about that. If I said, like, look, if I put all this money in now, that's less I got to put in later. Like, as I got, if I just put it all up front now and just go all in, hey, I'll be good for a while. So we don't got to worry about it. It's just like not something we have to stress about. And I just do what I need to do with this. So, but I mean, she's worse than I am when it comes to like splurging. So,
oh, really?
So usually I can sell her. I just bullshit her and we're good.
Yeah, it's one of those like, all right, look, don't question me about the mountain of Amazon boxes out front. I won't question you about whatever you're buying for the stream.
Or you just you just do it.
Yeah.
And then you just deal with the
Because
repercussions and maybe a
listen,
little bit of anger, and then you're good.
those of you who are young and you haven't learned yet, I'm going to give you some solid advice, okay? It's a lot easier to ask for forgiveness than for permission, all right?
Exactly.
All right, that's the key. Remember that, okay? It's going to be easier to ask them to forgive you than it is to get permission to do it.
That applies to so many life situations.
Yeah. But okay, so what was the next question I had? So you said you're gonna just upgrade whenever there's a need to. Once like maybe your mic goes to shit and you're like, okay, well now I need to get a new mic. I might as well invest in a decent one type thing.
Yep.
So that involves growing your equipment and stuff. But what about growing your stream? What have you been doing outside of Twitch to try to help grow your channel or your brand, and what's been working for you?
So I would have to say, so obviously socials is that's the main thing for me is social. Well, supporting others, and not just like false support, like supporting others, going to other people's streams, and not just going there one time, but like, hey, I came, but like continuing to go back and like interact with people and like interact with people on Twitter, interact with people on different socials. But a lot of it is posting stuff outside of just Twitch, like TikToks, and then I started up the Instagram, which it's a slow grind when you're first starting out, but it's a start and like it's progress. But I think the best thing so far, even though it fucking drives me mad, is TikTok.
Yeah.
And like what is actually going to be relevant and what's going to get pushed, even if it's not good. Sometimes I still post on TikTok because I've had at least a couple people come from TikTok.
Okay.
So I've had some. It's been minimal, but there's success there. So that's been one of the main things. Like, all right, I'm going to try and focus TikTok. Yeah. Because I like a lot of these, I guess if the experts say like you can't focus one platform because you're just not going to get seen other places. And then while like Twitch is hot now or like TikTok's cool now, but like don't neglect Instagram Reels because that might all of a sudden become relevant. Or like the one thing that I'm neglecting. Yeah. The one thing I'm neglecting 1% is YouTube. I just haven't put in the time to like even just throw some generic compilation of like I don't know, my kid shitting on the floor or like me playing like I could just throw a bunch of my TikToks together and throw it on YouTube as like a compilation. I just haven't done that, and that's like one of the things I need to do. But I'd say the really only thing I've done is socials.
Okay. Yeah.
But I mean,
it's
I do
key though.
like,
They're key.
It is. But even like out in the social world, like conversating with people, I've had 2 people, one of which I follow, and we're both subbed to each other on Twitch. Is the guy like happened to walk in like when she was working at her bank. She talked to him, was like, yeah, my husband does this, and like he's streaming, like he's just gotten streaming, and this guy's a streamer, like he's a good streamer. Yeah. And like that interaction worked because I bullshit with him from time to time on Twitter, or we saw each other's streams. And then like the guy that did our rap in our car, he like subbed to me because we just sat there and bullshit. He's like, yeah, I don't game, but I like to watch people on Twitch. Yeah. So I'm like,
that's dope. Yeah.
Just conversate with people. So
yeah, and I was gonna ask you about that too. Like, I know this year's kind of tough because COVID and everything. But before, and then you didn't really stream before COVID, so it's kind of tough to ask. But yeah, so like, I know like with my TTV, by the way, hat and stuff like that, and like literally anytime I'm out, I have some type of my merch on so that way it can be a conversation starter for people. And I mean, it doesn't happen like extremely often, very once in a while, but it is cool when it does happen that you can get someone that you've met in person to come to the channel. Like my buddy, he drives, I don't know if he still does, but he drove Uber for a while, and one of his passengers, like, he was just making small talk. He's like, oh yeah, I stream on Twitch and stuff. And then he's like, oh, I have a friend who streams. You should go check out his channel. Maybe you guys can like collab or something. He's like, oh yeah, give me his Twitch. And then the dude stopped by, and dude's a great content creator. It's amazing. So it's like, oh, that's crazy that, I met him through my buddy driving his Uber one day.
Yeah. So I did, and it was before I changed my Little to Little. Yeah. My wife actually made me a shirt, and like on occasion, like in California, I mean, there's people everywhere. Yeah. And it was so I had that shirt and I would wear it around, but now that shirt is useless because that little letter difference sabotages everything. So I just need to I need to do that because I did have that for a while, and I thought that was like a genius move. She actually made, and we had to take them off because we sold our vehicles. And again, I sabotaged myself by changing the name. But she made these little with the Twitch emblem and
Yeah.
like red lettering, like bumper stickers. And I don't like bumper stickers, but they really like blend with our vehicles, and we just threw them on vehicles. So in California, like, I mean, you just need some kid riding with their parents to see like a Twitch symbol, and they're like, oh, let me check that out, because they all have phones nowadays. So that's something I need to do again. But like when I started, it was like, it's, to me, it was imperative to not just be specific to like Twitter, Twitch. I just need to get back to like branching out. So
okay, I had this idea, right? And I got shot. I ran this by the guys in live. Like, I had this idea maybe like a year or something ago, right? And I didn't know how it would come off. I'm gonna tell you guys, because the idea is dead in the water. They all said this. Please do not do this. You are gonna get canceled. Absolutely do not do this. I was like, all right. So I, like, in California especially, right? We have a lot of homeless people in Southern California, or in California in general, right? There's a lot of homeless people who stand, you know, on the end of freeways with their signs like, "We'll work for, you know, help me out," you know, and they have their signs. And I'm like, what if I made a sign?
I like where this is going.
That has my Twitch on it, and I give them money to just hold it at the end of the free, but I'm paying them. And then they're like, you cannot do that, man. You're taking advantage of their labor. I'm like, yeah, but I'm paying them. Like, I'm going to pay them to do that. Like, they're going to stand there anyways. Them. Yeah. But they're
employing them.
But then they're like, unless you're going to pay him like minimum wage, you can't do that. I couldn't just give him, be like, oh, here's $20. But I'm like, okay, but what if I just made the sign, right? Like, the sign just had my Twitch, but the rest of it is blank, so he can write his own message in. I'm just providing him with a weatherproof board, because you know how they have like those yard signs that you put, like, when people run for politics, they have their yard signs. I'm like, that's weatherproof. That will never get hurt. This guy, it could just be like a whiteboard, and he could write a new message every day, but the frame of the board is my Twitch. And they're like, just don't. You're going to get, people are going to think you're such a dickhead. Do not do it.
The like, I mean, you could drive away and like the homeless person could have your Twitch name and then right under like, will suck strangers for nipples or something. You know what I mean? So it could backfire. Like, that
it could backfire. Yeah, you're right.
I do like that idea.
Yeah.
So, actually,
I thought it was genius. I was like, this is it. I'm gonna be huge. But then,
so it's gray area, and I kind of like to live in gray area.
Yeah,
and that's very gray area, but it could work.
Yeah, I think there's something there. I just need to like foolproof it to where I couldn't get in trouble. And then, you know, Rez especially is really on it to where he's like, look, you're gonna get a lot of people that come by and they're gonna be like, you're a piece of shit for using this homeless person, blah blah. I'm like, but I got them to the channel though. And that's the most important part. Regardless if they're there to yell at me or if they're there to say, hey, I saw it, dope. Either way, they're there. And he goes, but no, you don't want that. Yeah.
What if you explain, like, look, I employed him. I gave him money to do it. It wasn't just like, hey, bro, write my name up there. Like, I gave him give him a bag of snacks or something.
And then, Limp gave me the great idea too. He's like, why don't you just hook him up with like merch? Like, hook him up like with I give him clothes,
a shirt with your name on it.
Exactly. But I still want the sign though, because the sign, I feel like they won't read the shirt. I feel like, and who knows? What if he has like
catchy shirt?
What if he has like 30 layers and he just like my shirt is like the bottom layer? Do you know what I mean?
I think like, and this might sound fucked up, but a lot of people don't look at the homeless person's clothing, especially if it's all filthy. But if he's wearing a fresh ass shirt, then something catchy, and then it's like TTV this, maybe like big Twitch logo, they're like, oh. They might go thinking that the homeless person's the streamer, and then they just come across you and they're like, oh, hey, what's up, man? I seen this guy wearing it. And you could just be like, oh, yeah, I hooked him up some clothing or something.
You know, maybe I will.
So I did do something I forgot about, and I only did it in a few spots. Have you heard of geocaching?
Geocaching, no.
So there's this app, and it's called geocaching, and there's all these locations on it by GPS, and people hide little, like treasures, kind of, and you go find them, and, like, they leave little items. It could be money. It could just be like weird, like an eraser or something. And so you go and you're supposed to like take something and replace it, but you're supposed to sign your name. So we did a couple of those. And what I was writing, I didn't think about the first few, but like the last few, and I haven't seen any results from it. But if you did it enough, I would just write. I wrote my Twitch.
Yeah.
I just wrote my Twitch name. I wrote Twitch, and then I wrote my name.
Yeah. I do that every time I Venmo someone. If I Venmo someone, and you know how I have to like leave a note. I always put my Twitch link every single time.
That's a good idea because everybody sees that.
And everyone sees it because it goes on the feed. And start doing that. And I do that at like McDonald's. Like they always have like the Ronald McDonald's house or whatever. And you just like donate $1 and then they write their name and they put it on the wall in the drive-thru. I always do it for those too.
That's a good idea too.
Yeah.
There's so many. There's like unlimited options. I might just go out to my so my apartment buildings literally are along the freeway. I might just go spray paint my name on the side of the building. Like everyone sees these buildings too. Everybody.
But not even gonna lie. Okay, so like I said about the about like the politicians, how they leave, like they have like those little signs that they put like on the sides of freeways and stuff. Like, do you have to have a permit for those, or can I just make one and dump it off?
That's a good question. I feel like you need permission to put. I don't know who's gonna care.
Yeah, because I doubt like there's in some places there's a lot of them, and I'm like, there's no way all these people got like. Who do you go to the city? You're like, hey, on this corner of this and this street, I'm gonna go put a sign there, and they're like, okay, yeah, go for it. Like, how do you get permission to even do that?
Yeah, that's a good question, but
and I know
are everywhere.
And I also thought so with with technology advancing and stuff, they have now electronic billboards that cycle through ads, and you can pay to have ads on there, and like depending on how cheap you go with them, it could play like at weird times. So like if you pay like $50 a month, it'll play for like 5 seconds at like 4:15 to 4:20 in the morning, where it's like you're not gonna, it's at the times where there's not a lot of traffic, so not a lot of people are paying for that spot. But I always thought, like, I wonder if that would be a good investment. But I mean, depending on how much it can be. But I've seen it pretty cheap. I've seen it pretty, like, for, like I said, $50 to like $100. And even if you do it one time and just see if there's any kind of results from that. But I doubt someone's gonna be driving and being like, oh, let me remember that Twitch name, because it's not like they could just write it down in the middle of like. But in LA, it could work because of traffic. Because traffic is so shit. Like, you're literally standing still for a solid like 5 minutes, like not moving. So I don't know. That's something I really want to look into.
I think that'd be cool and depending on cost, but I think that really like stands out because I think anybody sees that and be like, oh, Twitch. Like, I mean, it would be different. It would be different. A lot of people wouldn't expect that. So I mean, I mean, I feel like you can try options, and if it doesn't work, I mean, at least you tried it. Like, I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are slacking in that creativity department to where they're not like, they're doing the whole social media aspect, but it's like, you guys need to think bigger. You guys need to do some IRL advertisement, man. You guys got to get your name out there in the real world where you're going to see people, and people are going to react to that more because it's something that they don't see ever.
Yeah. That's why I do weird community goals, because one, I think it's funny, but also it's like people are like, well, this dude's, I mean, he's fucking weird, but like, that was different.
Yeah.
Like, it's just something different.
Yeah. Haley actually has a big brain idea. She has a great idea. She says to promote in other streamers' chat.
Oh, I'm down with it.
That's the move. That is the move. Thank you, Haley. Solved all of our problems. All right. So how about meeting other streamers? Like, how has that been for you? Like, I know joining the Live Link team and stuff like that. But like, even did you meet Wreck-It Alf through streaming, or was that a real life friend?
No, I met him through streaming. I would have to say it was an interaction on Twitter.
Okay.
I think it was early on, and it was probably like in my follow for follow, but I think we just we bullshitted and like we stopped by each other's and like communicated, and he's like a genuine dude. So it was like someone that's like appealing, like, I like genuine people. Like, I don't care how like big they are now, how big they're going to be. If they're just a genuine person, like, I want to interact with them. And he was just one of those people. Like, he's a good dude. Like, he means well. And he's probably the first person. Well, he is the first person that I actually text, like, yo, what's up, man? Or text me and like, hey, what's going on? How's the family? And then of course, like the Live Link team, that was like probably my next interaction, where like regular interactions now, and like, it's been good, but I just am very weary of a lot of people that, especially are in like what everyone says, don't call yourself, you're a streamer, but like the small streamer status, because there's a lot of just, and I've been seeing it, and I'm just very weary. And if I don't have a good feel for people, I just kind of like stick to the people I know, like you, and then now like the Live Link guys, and like Wreck-It, and then a couple of my close friends, and then even some just other people I've seen, like, all right, they do cool stuff and they stop by. Because I'm just weary of these dudes that are just out to like target people that they feel are like kind of doing well to like steal their audience. And it just takes one interaction for one of those like snakes to sneak in and like do that stuff. I haven't seen it lately, so but for the most part, my experience has been amazing.
Yeah, that's why, like, especially on Twitter, like before, if someone followed me, I'd be like, oh, cool, I'll follow you right back. And it's not like necessarily a follow for follow because like I'm not pushing the idea, but I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
if you're gonna take the time to follow me, I'm gonna respect that. I'm gonna at least follow you back out of courtesy. But I noticed a lot of times, like, you know, because every morning I wake up and I legit spend an hour to 2 hours just liking tweets that I missed while I was sleeping.
Yeah.
I'll just sit there straight and just scroll, and then every now and then, like, I'll see someone like, man, I really don't feel like I ever see this person like my stuff. And then I'll just click on their profile and see that they had unfollowed. And it happens a lot. And at first it used to piss me off. And then now it's just like, oh, I feel so good unfollowing because your content is shit anyways. And you're just one less person that I have to worry about like in the future. So good riddance. But now I don't follow back at all unless I see reoccurring support, because then I know that you genuinely followed me because you genuinely support me, not because like you're just like, oh, hey, I'm going to follow you, so you followed me, and then later on I'm going to unfollow you so that my numbers are better.
Yeah, I see that. And so I'll do usually the follow back, and then like I'll notice every like week, 2 weeks, I go through and I just go to people, and if it says they're not following me anymore, well, why am I following you if I don't like your shit or if I don't ever interact with you? So I just unfollow and I just balance my shit out.
Yeah.
And then people that follow me, I follow back, and like if we don't have to interact right away, but if there's some interaction, like cool.
Yeah.
But then as soon as I follow someone and I get an immediate message, check out my Twitch, you're gone.
Yeah, you're gone. Yeah, because
Like,
I already see your angle, bro. I already see your angle. Yeah.
Like this ain't gonna work. Like I was that person when I started, but now I know better. Like you're just here to promote yourself and you don't give a shit about anyone else. Like I will check you out, and I will at least hope you check me out. And if I don't like your stuff, I won't necessarily unfollow you, but there, I mean, it's got to be some give and take. Like you can't interact with everyone. Like you can't interact with all your followers. It's not realistic. But there's some people that's like, I'll scroll through like, yo, I mean, I just don't feel. Yeah. And I know people unfollow me because they're like, man, I don't like this guy's vibe. I don't like what he's about. So they unfollow me. And it works the same way for me. Like some people just ain't it for me. So I don't follow, but
yeah, because it's not even like I'm looking for like you have to respond to every tweet or you have to respond to every post. But I mean, the fact that like people won't like, I don't see you like anything, and it's like, well, why are you following me then? Like, I don't understand. Are you literally only following me so that we can follow each other? Like, I just don't get it. And like, there's still tons of streamers that like I follow on Twitter that I have like even yet to stop by their stream, and it's not because I don't have any interest in stop by the stream. It's just it's so hard because there's so many people that we follow and that we have that are friends. Then you want to make sure you spread that love around, so you can't necessarily. And it's the only time I would ever really be able to stop into a new stream, someone that I've never been into, is literally if someone that I don't already support regularly isn't live. Which so it had like the stars would have to line up that like no one that I talk to regularly is live at the time, and I'm like, okay, cool, now I can go to your stream and check you out. But sometimes I'll see something exciting happen. Or sometimes they'll be like, hey, I'm doing a celebratory stream because I just graduated from college. And it's like, oh, dope. I'll go stop by, hit you with congrats. You know what I mean? Like, that's a perfect time for me to break that ice and get into your stream for the first time. So I try to do stuff like that.
People that I've been following for a while, and I'm like, hey, I haven't stopped by, or I'll stop by and I'll like come in and try and like communicate, or even if it's just me and a couple people raid, and they're like, oh, thanks. And like, the immediate like reaction's gone. There's no communication. Like it's like, all right, like you either just want specific people here or you just don't give a shit about that. You're just not getting what you expected. So it's like, I'm not going to waste my time on those type of people when there's better people that I can spend time in their streams, chatting with them, and just like being there to like support others. So and then same with like Twitter. Like I try to like as much stuff as I can if I do like it. But I can't always like everything. And if all you ever focus on is like specifically like streaming and gaming, and there's no like nothing outside of that realm, like ever, it's like, bro, how many of our followers are all streamers, gamers? A large majority of them, because we're all trying to do the same thing. Like, just give me something different. Like that's why I try to. Like, that's why I started, like, here's my throwbacks, because, like, here's a different piece of what I do. Like, I'm not just sitting here gaming all the time. Like, this is what I do. Like, this is what I did years back. Or, hey, here's my little thirst trap post, because, hey, why not? Because people might be like, hey, let me go simp this dude. I'll be like, hell yeah, let's go.
Hell yeah, let's go. And that's how I knew. That's how I knew the moment that I rated you. I knew. I was like, I was instantly like just fucking with your vibe, because you instantly, as soon as the raid was done, you're like, you know what? What's this dude? I'm gonna go I'm gonna go look at this dude's socials. Like, I didn't have to tell you. I didn't have to say like, oh, go follow me back or anything. You on your own got the raid and was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna go check this guy out. Not only on his Twitch, but I'm gonna go see his Twitter and his Instagram. And you went on your, like, you were just so I don't know eager to support. And I was like, that's dope. Like, that's a dope mentality. I like that, and I need more people like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need to surround yourself with people like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, well, obviously, like, you read him as like, all right, well, that's awesome, like, and you like came in and everyone's like super hyped and everything, but it's like, but it's also important to be like, if someone's gonna take their time to do that, like, some people just do it to like, obviously you want to help others, but you know, it's also a way to get yourself out there. But I like immediately checked yourself out, and then like we interacted more. I was like, well, he's a genuine dude, like, and I looked at a lot of your stuff, and like he's actually putting out fun stuff, and it's not just all like, hey, I stream every day. Like, there was more to it. So. Yeah. And I think that was why it was a big deal. Like, yeah, I want to follow this guy because I like what he's doing. Yeah. Like, and it's not because like, hey, I'm gonna follow this guy because it's a boost to me. It's because I like your shit. You know. So I think it was just, I mean, it was awesome. It was like perfect timing.
It really was. It really it's great. Like, when you think about stuff like those small tiny interactions like that like you don't ever think about, but those are like, that's huge. You know what I mean? Like, that's why we're here right now having this conversation, because of that one-time interaction that led to something bigger.
And that's why I get bummed when I raid people sometimes, and they're just like so like blah, like, and it's like, damn, like like why don't people get as excited as I do? Like, I don't care if it's 3 people, 4 people, you and like your secondary account rating me. Like, I don't care, because it's cool that you picked me. Yeah, that you thought of me. With you, but like, and then other people, it's like, I think it's like a letdown for me, because I was as excited as I was when you rated me, or anybody rates me, and then I see other people and they're not. It's just like, damn, man. Like, I feel that. Yeah, I feel that a lot. But back to LiveLink. So are there members in LiveLink that you've been introduced to that you feel yourself gravitate towards, like some of these people that you met, like that you're like, oh, I really like what this guy's got going on, and then you find yourself gravitating. Yeah, so definitely Limp, and I always say Res, because I don't know if it's Resedation or Res, I just say Res. Yeah. So I would have to say those two specifically stand out immediately, because I've interacted with them the most. Yeah. But I also, like, when I joined, you know, I spoke with them and talked to them and got the feel for what everything was about, and it made me feel like good about it, and that's why obviously I was honored to join, but I decided, like, all right, this is a cool, like, group of people to be part of. So I would say those two. And then, like, I've had in passing through, like, some, like, I think Chance rated me, Cervelli rated me. We didn't really get to interact, and it's not like I have any issue with them. I just haven't had that chance to interact with them yet. But so outside of Limp and Res, it would have to be probably when we did our Mario Party. So Sam and Craze. Yeah. I think it's Craze, right? It's Craze. It's Craze. So I like both of them. Crazy was really cool. Not to say that Sam wasn't, because Sam was super laid back and awesome. But I did like their vibes as well too. So I would say those for sure. But Limp and Res for sure are like the top two outside of yourself, because you know, I've interacted with you quite a bit. But definitely, I mean, I've gamed with Limp. I mean, Limp, me and him, and then like Sheena, and we played a lot of Phasmophobia. And then Limp even stuff, you know, when I was on my little quarantine, played a lot of Halo with me. So so I would definitely say those ones for sure so far. All right, I think it's just a matter of time to interact with the other ones. Exactly. Once you get to know them more often, I just didn't know if you got to, because what's surprising me is who is it? There's like a weird combo that I never saw coming, or even Cervelli. How well Cervelli meshes with everyone in LiveLink. Like, I'll see him playing with Craze a lot, and I'm like, wait, what the? Like, it's like, you know, when you bring a friend into like your group of friends, like you have 2 different groups, and you're like, oh, hey, I'm gonna bring this one friend into this group, and then you find out that friend like hung out with one of the group members. Like, wait, you're hanging out with them without me now? Like, what the fuck? Yeah. So I didn't know if there was anything like that. Like, if you on your own like started hanging out with maybe like Chance or Sam or something like that, and then like you guys have got like a new little like bromance going on or anything. So not yet, just because it's also coming down to like scheduling too. You know, obviously their schedule's different, my schedule's different. My time's limited. It just worked out that like Limp introduced me to Phasmophobia and told
Yeah.
me about it, and then me and him started playing it, and we were just having a blast with it.
Yeah.
So he's really the only one I've gamed with outside
Okay.
of the Mario Party stream.
Okay.
But then it's also what game each person plays. So
Yeah.
I don't play any COD right now. So
Yeah.
like I think Cervelli plays some COD.
Yeah.
I forget what his schedule said. Like he plays some other stuff, so it just
Yeah.
doesn't mesh up. Like I don't play Rogue or
Yeah.
Valorant right now. So
Yeah.
it comes down to that too.
That's what it was. It was Jaws and Sam starting up their podcast, and I was like, "What? You guys talk to each other? Like, what the hell? Like, I know we're in live link, but I didn't know you guys talk to each other like that enough to be like, hey, let's start a podcast here." That I was really thrown. I was like, "Whoa, that's dope. It's dope." Yeah,
that's exactly the cool part about it. Is that like they're doing something different together, but that like it just gives a different aspect to that team. Like, and I think Live Link team once it like I don't know how long it's been together, but I feel like it's still kind of very much in the growing process. I just feel like I see other people like join this team, and I just don't see those teams touching like what Live Link's doing now. And I think they can just really, I think the team, especially with like I don't know who I think Rez and Limp kind of run it for the most part, because I always see them like chat together. Like they're doing amazing shit. So I just think there's a lot of talent there.
So LiveLink has been around for a little over 2 years, but with this new revamp, it's almost like starting all over. So this LiveLink, the LiveLink that you know now, is really new compared to what it was before. Before it was pretty much just like a Discord, and it was like very loose, like, you know, people. There's no structure to it. It was, you know, people that like kind of networking together, but again, not really structured in the sense to where there's any responsibility involved. But now this new Live Link, where we try to be more engaging with each other, is a whole new thing. So it feels really good. I really like the direction that Live Link is going in.
They're really good about reaching out.
Yes.
Even though they put the calendar and like, hey, sign up for this, because I'm really bad about it. Like, it's just sometimes it's time, sometimes I forget, I don't see messages, but they're really good. It like directly like reaching out, like Limp. I think it was Limp that reached out to me for the Mario Party. I was like, yeah, let's do it. Like, I'm down.
They're doing an amazing job with this revamp, and absolutely shout out to LiveLink. You guys can also do ! LiveLink in the chat to find out a little bit more about them, as well as follow their Twitch channel. And Junior says FSH is beautiful. He really is though, Junior. He really is though. So back to teams. Have you been a part of a team before, or is this your first quote unquote team?
Yeah. This would be the first team, and like when like getting into this, I was like, I see people, like I said, with people join teams, like, and I was like, you know, I'm just gonna do my thing. Like, I don't think like teams seem relevant until like you actually see them collaborating, doing things together, and that's the first thing I noticed with this team is that they do things together. It's not just like, hey, shout out, like these guys are streaming this time, and that's it. Like that's not a team. That's just a tweet.
Yeah.
So I mean, the short answer is no. This is the first team, especially when it comes to like gaming and then streaming as well.
Yeah. Wait, what? Why isn't the Live Link thing working? Oh, there we go. Why does it take a second to pop up? That's weird. Yeah, and also sub to them on YouTube as well. Go check out Live Link team over on YouTube. I should really add that to the command. But yeah, so this Live Link would technically be I've been in 3 teams total. So the first team I joined would be Live Link, but that was again before it was really a team. It was more just like a hangout spot. And then I joined a couple others, and even then, like I got approached, and I was like, I don't really know. I don't know what that consists of. I don't know what's expected of me to be in a team. I don't know anything like that. And, you know, I did it, and I met amazing people. Like I met Haley, I think I met Haley before. I introduced Haley to the first team that we joined, I think, or something like that. I forgot. Do you remember how that is, Haley, how that went? But I know Haley was part of that first team that I joined, and we met a lot of incredible people that we still, you know, talk to and call friends today. So that was Trinity, you know, Rip Trinity too. Yeah, Rip Trinity. And, you know, we met a lot of good friendships, but at the same time, you get involved also with people that really aren't the best either. Like there's a lot of people that were in Trinity that now I have zero interest in hanging out with, people that like, you know, where it's like, yeah, that was the thing that always bothered me with these teams. Is it like, I don't know if it's just me, if I was raised with manners or what, but when I join a team, right, I'm going to go through all the other members and give them a follow, because it's like, yeah, you know, I'm new here. I'm going to, you know, follow all you guys and see, you know what, I'm going to try to support all you guys. But there's so many people who don't return that back. And it, again, not a follow for follow situation, but just more out of a respect. It's like, hey, we're supposed to be a team. We should be supporting each other. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of that doesn't happen. I don't know if it's people with egos or what it is. And again, a lot of teams that I was on did have a lot of younger people, like, 16, like high schoolers that kind of have like that ego mentality where it's they feel that they're pro players and they don't have to
themselves.
They they don't need to waste their time following you back and this. And so like those are the people that I genuinely like. I followed them, but it was like, look, I'm going to give you a week. If I don't see any support back from any of you guys are all getting unfollowed, and I'm only going to keep messing with the ones on this team that I feel are genuine. But so,
and I agree with that. So I would say that I don't think I followed everyone. Because I think I've only followed the people that I've seen. I know there's more people part of the team that like on the website that I don't think I've seen around. So I don't know if like they're just busy like life. So I would expect, like, my whole thing is like, you just let me know, like, if I haven't, my thing is just, hey, you can just
reach
tell
out,
me, or call me
reach
on my
out,
shit and just let me know, like, hey, bro, like, hey, you unfollow me, I'm like, dude, I'll get on it, like, it's not a big deal to me. So, but I agree, like, it should be a team, like, if you're a team, you should be following each other, like, support each other as best you can. Like, you can't get to everyone all the time, but definitely,
but there should be some level of support there. But there's, I mean, even in Trinity, or not Trinity, LiveLink, like, I've been a part of LiveLink for the entire 2 years, and I mean, even like members like Balmung, like, I don't know Balmung at all. I don't think I've ever even spoken to him. I have no idea. I don't think I've ever been introduced to him at all. But I mean, you know what I mean? So there's definitely just times like where you just don't ever get a chance to interact with each other. Do you know what I mean? So I mean, but that'll all come in time and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, everybody in LiveLink is absolutely, they've been handpicked specifically for the reason that they are good people. So, let's see. But I think we're getting close to the end here. But so let's go ahead and talk. What's next? What do you got next planned for the stream? Anything big?
So right now, really. So I think. And like my initial like getting into streaming is I just want to give people shit. Give people shit, but it's not like I work hard and my wife works hard for what we got. So I can't like, I realized quickly, like, I can't just give shit away. And you don't want to like, I don't want to rely on like, hey, here's stuff all the time, because I don't want people to just expect to get shit from me all the time. So I kind of cut back on it, but I feel like a lot of people have been hanging out and like I've been getting some subs. I've been getting subs, like,
you want to give back.
So I think the next thing would be like my 2 new community goals are up, which are just ridiculous. I know you probably know. If you don't, they're the if we get the one, I'll be transformed into a woman. And I will stream as a woman for the entire stream. And I will tie that into like a giveaway and like a couple gift cards. Nothing crazy, but just like, hey, here's something back for people who are always in. So that's one thing. And then my other community goal is the I don't think I have it sitting here, but the TENS unit, the thing for like muscles. Like, so my plan is I have a secondary camera now. It's generic, but it's good for it. So I'm gonna have a camera on my hands, and I'm gonna have this TENS unit hooked up. And if we get the community goal, like something small, like a very minimal bit, donation to get certain time frames of electrocution, or I would say muscle. I don't know the fancy word, so it's not a violating term service. So like my hands get shocked while I'm playing, and then that'll be tied into also like a small giveaway, but just something fun to do. I think right now that's it. There's nothing major. There goes the wife embarrassing me with her Green Bay Packers shirt.
Oh God, I can't even talk smack because the Cowboys got absolutely embarrassed. So I can't. My wife's a Packers fan as well, and it's just that year. Tell her when Dez caught it. That was a rough year for us. That was a catch. That was a catch for those Packer fans. All right, just so you know, he caught the ball and took 2 steps and made a football move. Just so we're clear. I don't care if it was 6 years ago.
I talk shit to her every weekend. Every weekend, especially this past weekend because I got absolutely slaughtered. But I mean, that's it right now. I'm always trying to like brainstorm and like, what can I do that's just not the same stuff, but just different. But right now it's just like, I think I'm just focused on like, hey, let's get on play, interact, and like hopefully just keep people coming back, and then just stay consistent at this point, because I feel like I'm at a good point where it's small, but I'm organically growing slowly. So I just want people, it's just being real, just being genuine, like just that's it for me right now. I don't have anything major planned outside of like making sure I have fun stuff for like people that come in and spend time to interact with and like do things. That's why like the pug's a big part of it. People love the pug.
Yeah.
So it's like always like any opportunity to include the pug, which I'll probably never do peanut butter again, but stuff like that. Like,
yeah. You know what's funny? That streamer couple that I'm gonna send you, I forgot they also have a pug that they make a part of their stream. He has his own camera and everything.
I thought that.
But he's like a super lazy pug. He just like sleeps the entire stream.
Yeah, mine's always sleeping when I'm playing, except for the rare occasion where he'll just stand here and just bark at me because he's just. Every time we play Phasmophobia, he just stands over here and barks. I swear, it's just like there are demons in here.
Yeah, like that's not creepy.
I did have the idea of like planning a camera over by him and like, hey, channel points that you can like look at the pug.
Yeah.
So I don't.
But yeah, you'll see it when I send you that channel. Take a look at what they got going on. I'm telling you, it's very It'll be really inspirational for you guys. And like I said, a lot of people again think that there's something. I don't think there's anything wrong with taking inspiration from other streamers, especially if they're doing something that you like and that you can incorporate into your life. Like it's different if you saw that and you're like, I'm gonna go out and buy a pug to do that. But if you already have a dog, you know what I mean? And you see that, that's another couple who streams. I really like what they're doing, but you add your own flavor to it. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely not. And people are like, I don't want to steal. Don't steal it then. Make it your own. Take it and make it your own.
There's almost no. I mean, there are always going to be original ideas, but there's very few original ideas left that like haven't been done at some point. So it's never gonna be it's stealing. Like sometimes people come up with cool ideas, but you can tailor it differently, or you can just honestly, some people can just do it better and execute it better. So
yeah,
I mean, I feel like do what like fits to your personality, and I mean, try to cater to what people like to see, but you're also not always going to be able to cater to everyone. So try to do different things and bring in different people. So that's why I'm just always a little bit of different things. So,
all right. So that'll transition us over to our next. So what goals do you have for 2021? Where do you have like a set of things that you want to achieve next year as a streamer?
So, I haven't really actually thought about it. Like so when I started my whole goal, I've had one goal, and it's a long-term goal of like, I've got 3 years left of what I'm doing now. And my 3-year plan is like to grow as much as possible and like see where I'm at and like establish like, my own community and like hopefully have like a good amount of people that come in and watch and go from there. But I would say for 2021, based on like the way this year's went, I'd say definitely more organic growth. Try to put more content out there and just branch out a little bit more, just clean it up, get better with it. But it would be nice to just see like an average go up, just have a good average. Like know that I'm always going to see, we'll say 15 people in a stream. It's so like, to me, the best part about streaming that I found is when people come in chat and you can interact with them. But I love when people come in and then the chat interacts with each other. I think that's the best part. And then like chat like runs itself. I think that would be my goal, is like, I can game and like interact, but then I can look over and like chat is just doing their thing. Yeah. And it just like it just works itself out. So I would say like a nice average. I would say just for now, I'm going to say for 2021, I would like to see like an average of 15 at some point in the year, I think. And I think that's an attainable goal.
Oh,
it's
for sure.
Goal. Like,
for sure.
Yeah.
All right. That's awesome. So, do you have any advice for people, in their personal lives or in their streamer lives? Anything you want to give advice before we wrap this up?
All right, so I would say in the streamer world, don't get wrapped into the follow for follow. It's like, it's just gonna, like, for me, I feel like my follower numbers is just a false number. Like I would try to organically grow by supporting others, but make sure you're getting the support in return. Like it shouldn't be a one-way street. Like they can't support you all the time, but if they're never tuning your stream, those should be the people that you're not spending all of your time focused on. Focus on the people that want to like be there for you as well. Yeah. I think that's probably the best one I can give right now. And then truly watch out for people that are always inviting you. And I've been seeing this a lot lately and it's been pissing me off. People are always like, yeah, you want streamer advice? Come to my stream. No, if you want to get advice, like,
just say it right
DM
there.
Work.
Or just say it right there in the video.
DM or like tell the people what they need. Don't use them as like, hey, come to my stream, you'll get it. So I'll leave it at that. And then I think personal life, like mental health. I know everyone always talks about mental health, but like I feel like a lot of people aren't really about mental health. Like they say, yeah, I'm there for you, but but I think it's key to like talk to people, never be afraid to talk to people, and like reach out. Like if I say I'm available, like I might not answer my phone if you like shoot me a text or you try and call me. but that doesn't mean I'm not going to reach back to you or like
Yeah.
shoot me a message on in like the DMs. Like I will hit you back. If I do not, there is a very, very, very good reason why I didn't. Like
Yeah.
I didn't see it, or I'm crazy busy, or I'm deployed or something. But I'm available. And if if it's not me and you don't feel comfortable with me, like someone's always available.
Mhm.
Just talk to people. That's it. All you gotta do is communicate.
Well said. Well said. I'm going to talk to you too. 'Cause I got approached about a charity that is about has to do with mental health and veterans. And
Okay.
I was like, I'm very wary of charities. Like there's so many charities that don't do what they advertise they're doing. So I'm very like thrown off on it. But I definitely want to run it by you. Yeah, you being in the military yourself, I definitely want to run it by you and see what your thoughts and opinions on it before I agree to anything. But I would love to get involved with charity. I feel like weird setting up a charity myself because I just don't want people to think that like I'm trying to gain anything from it. But if this is an organization that approaches me to do it, I have that's something I'm more comfortable dealing with.
Yeah, it's just very like sketchy. Like, are they really affiliated with them? And once you make this money and like help raise money for them, like, is it really going?
Where is it actually going? Yeah,
there's so much fraud with that stuff nowadays. It's always hard to tell. And there's especially veteran stuff. Like a lot of people just play that card. And then
exactly.
They're not really doing what they're supposed to. Yeah,
exactly. I definitely want to run that by you. All right. Definitely. Anything you want to plug? What's your raid or not your raid? Your stream schedule?
So I would say my stream schedule, well, it is right now, barring any setbacks, and I do need to publish it on my Twitch, but Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday is 7 p.m. Pacific time till, it varies about 2 hours, so 9:30, sometimes 10. And then on those off days, oftentimes I'm on same time, usually about the same time with my wife, but that is my schedule, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday.
All right. And don't forget, you guys can type !LittleEvil in the chat. We'll give you his link tree. Then you can follow him on all of his social media, as well as his Twitch link over there where you guys can catch him live. And that's going to be it. You guys don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And also, don't forget to leave me recommendations. I'm pretty sure you can leave comments on this once we're done here. Leave any recommendations for any streamers that you would like me to reach out to see if they would like to be on the show that you would like to... No, you can't. We tried. You can't what? You can't what, Haley? Oh, the little evil thing? Oh, see, it works. Oh, I got to fix it. I'm so sorry, you guys. All right, well, twitch.tv/FSHLittleEvil. You can see it right here on the screen. Make sure you guys go check that out. And then you can grab his link tree. Or you guys can just search that. Search FSHLittleEvil on all the social media. You guys will find him. But yeah, so don't forget, leave a comment after we end the stream here to let me know if there's any streamers that you guys want me to interview. I am always looking for interesting people. And also, don't forget, I'm doing a WoW giveaway tomorrow. If you have ever been interested in trying out World of Warcraft, I'm going to do a giveaway for the game plus game time. So you'll have a free month of the game to try out. They've made it extremely easy to level up your characters now, so you can get the full experience of the game within that month. And yeah, don't forget, tune in tomorrow on the stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/TBFanboyGaming. And yes, I'll do all the mod stuff and stuff after. I'll get all that worked out for next time. And I'm going to try to make this an every other Tuesday thing. So I'm going to try to do every other Tuesday where we interview streamers, if not at least once a month. But again, I want to thank Little Evil for being my guest today. You were amazing. I told you this wasn't hard, right? This wasn't hard. It's just talking.
No, it's very different. It's weird, like just talking, just a Q&A, like,
Yeah.
But it's cool. It's cool. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So you see, Chance is so scared to do this, and I'm like, Chance, it's nothing, man. You're just talking. We're just broing it up. All right.
I would never public speak. I hate public speaking. It's a different aspect. So it's still a little like, at first it's just a little nervous. It's just a different element. So it was outside of my element, but now that I've done, it's like, all right, that's kind of cool. Like, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I know. I can't because I can't break the wall, LME. All right, I'll talk to you guys about this later. Thank you again, Little Evil. It was a pleasure, man. I'm so glad I got to learn all this from you. And don't forget to let other people know to come check out the video once we end it here. That way they can get a chance and maybe, hopefully, become a fan of Little Evil. And and don't forget, get started on that EPAL thing. There's big things in the future.
I'm gonna seriously focus on shredding so I can just start thirst trapping more.
I'm telling you, bro, it'll be there. Sorry, Sheena, but that's what you get for faking losing the dog. All right, You're gonna have to deal with it. But all right, we're gonna take off. We'll see you guys later.